oh, your hair is already bushy, you need to cut it. Like, to seem as presentable. I don't know who are presenting to. If you cannot do fussy hair and you are a black stylist, you cannot do hair. Your hairstylist, your braider, they don't want to work with your fussy hair. Because hi, you're welcome to my channel. I'm Sophie, and today we're going to be talking about my unpopular opinions in the natural hair edition. I just feel like I have to do the disclaimer. So first of all, my opinions are not law. You don't have to follow them, you don't have to agree with them. In fact, if you disagree, you can tell me why you disagree in the comments. I just want to talk today. And number two, if you agree with me, tell me in the comments also, So without further ado, let's get into today's unpopular opinions. Black men should start growing out their natural hair. I feel like a lot of them are so distant from their natural hair. They don't know what it looks like. They actually don't know how to handle it. I have a friend who is growing out his natural hair right now, and the truth is that they are just as confused as we are. Some years ago we were introduced to our natural hair for the first time. For example, I went 15 years of my life without knowing what my own actual natural hair looked like before I started growing my natural hair out. So it's the same thing for a lot of black men. I feel like, especially in Nigeria, actually, what I'm talking about is very common in Nigeria. Like, most men are on low cuts. They don't even grow their hair up to 1 inch. And I feel like in Nigeria, it's kind of like what is expected of you. When we were in secondary school, primary school, what will happen is they will tell you that your hair needs to be low. In fact, if your head is shiny, that's when it's great. I was thinking about it, and people will always tell you that, oh, it's so that you can be neat, it's so that you can look clean, it's so that you can look presentable. And I'm like, why is it only us that has to cut our hair till it's shiny? Especially our men, cut our hair till it's shiny and it's flat and it's very low, even less than 1 inch. If I was 1 inch, 0.5 inches will not even be on their head, and people will be like, oh, your hair is already bushy, you need to cut it. Look at any other group of men that have any other hairstyle, like straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair. They grow their hair out. It's only coily hair, like type 4 hair, that I feel like they need to cut their hair very low to be seen as serious, or to be seen as, not unkempt, to be seen as presentable. I don't know who are presenting to it. And actually, in Nigeria, the biracial people are allowed to grow their hair. I've met a lot of biracial guys in secondary school, in primary school, in Nigeria, whether they're half white or they're half Asian or something. And basically, those ones are allowed to grow their hair. They'll grow their hair quite long, at least 3 inches, 4 inches. Nobody says anything. Some of them even 5 inches. Nobody says anything. It's okay, it's fine and cool. But let someone in Nigeria with fussy hair grow their hair 1 inch. You start hearing from your lecturers, you start hearing from your teachers, you start hearing from your parents that you should go and cut it, you look bushy, you look unkempt. I think it's something we really need to ask ourselves why. Look at any country, just off the top of your head, call any country that has, that has a different hair type from type 4 hair. Call any country, let's call Italy, and Japan, China. Just take a look at the men in all these countries. Everybody grows their hair to a significant amount. The only people that barb their hair abolo are black men in general, and I feel like that's the most acceptable hairstyle for Nigerian men. You know what, I'm going to just keep it at Nigeria, because black is too general, it's too broad. That's the typical hairstyle for them. So I feel like they should be allowed to grow their hair out more, and I feel like it will actually fit them. I'm tired of saying only low cut. Nobody has over 0.5 inches of hair on their head. Of course, there's nothing wrong with barbing your hair short, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you cannot cut your hair short if you want, but I feel like it's not even a choice at this point. It's your hair must be low. Second unpopular opinion is that sulfates and silicones are okay, they're good, they're not bad, because I was one of the sulfates and silicone warriors. I actually even have a hair care brand in Nigeria, My Hair Naturals. We are a sulfate and silicone free brand. I actually made that brand because I genuinely thought that sulfates and silicones were bad. Now, I'm not going to say that if you want to avoid them, you shouldn't. You can avoid them if you want, but if you use them on your hair, nothing's going to happen. Sulfates and silicones are in so many products. Your favorite body creams, it's in so many things, and we're running away from it in our shampoo just to realize we've been using it our whole lives. So I know some people will still like to stay with it, but I feel like with natural hair, the fear mongering for sulfates and silicones was just excessive. So sulfates and silicones are not bad for your hair. Of course, if you want to use sulfate and silicone free products, I make sulfate and silicone free products. Yeah, and you can check it out, my hair naturals in Nigeria. I'm going to put the link in the description, and I'm going to also put the name on the screen so you can check us out on Instagram. Shameless plug. Of course, silicones can cause silicone buildup, but if you're washing it off like regularly, you're using a strong shampoo, you can actually take off those silicones. It's not permanent. And sulfates, yes, they can dry out your hair, but if you're deep conditioning after, you're conditioning after, you're using leave-in conditioner after, it's not something you have to worry about. Like, you only have to worry about your sulfate shampoo if you're not conditioning your hair enough, and you only have to worry about your silicones if you don't cleanse your hair enough. If you're one of the people that washes your hair, you don't wash your hair strands, the silicone buildup that's waiting for you, I feel like it was just over exaggerated, and people didn't really like sit down to actually state the facts. And you can use sulfates and silicones. So another of my unpopular opinions is that you don't have to straighten your hair for a protective style. Like, it's just because your hairstylist, your braider, they don't want to work with your fussy hair, because the people who originated braids and all the whole protective styles were saying are black women, and black women predominantly have what? Type 4 hair. So if they're telling you you always have to blow out straighten, why on earth don't they just go and work with textures that are already straight? Because it's not really making sense to me. Because the people who originated the hairstyle, they have type 4 hair, so definitely there is a way to tuck it in without using heat. And then another thing I don't get is like when you blow out your hair to put a sew in, like you just need to put the braiding pattern at the bottom, sew the weave in. So why are you straightening your hair before you put that one? Like, I really don't get it. The stylists, they just need to be better. Yeah, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Need to know how to do hair better, because if you cannot do fussy hair and you're a black stylist, you cannot do hair. Because why are you telling people to come blow dried and flat ironed for a braid appointment or for a protective style? Makes absolutely no sense. I'm actually thinking of making this a series, so if you like this video, I'll be making more of it. If you want to see more of my unpopular opinion videos, I'll make a playlist, and each time I post an unpopular opinion, I'll put in the playlist so you can watch it when you feel like. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.